So today I'm here with my beautiful friend Shah, who's also a yoga teacher. We're going to do a little yoga routine which is perfect for post-flight stresses on your body.
They're all super simple, like they're kind of accessible for everyone, so don't worry if you're sort of, I don't do yoga, it's really not a thing. This is more like
beginners, anyone, everyone, just to stretch out and just get the blood pumping again after those long haul flights or short haul flights. Any flight.
Toes touching, big toes touching, little space between your heels, lift all 10 toes off your mat and spread them really wide away from each other, like to give them a good stretch, and then ground down on the mat like that. Yes, nice. Then pull up through the fronts of your legs, gently squeeze the glutes. Tuck the tailbone under, and let your hands like relax down by the side of you, and imagine you're trying to roll your shoulder blades all the way down your back. Long tall spine, lift up tall through the crown of the head, that's it. And close down the eyes, just take a couple of deep breaths. You want to breathe in through the nose, and think about filling your lungs, but your belly first. So long deep breath into the belly. And then again all the way out. And as you exhale, really think about using the diaphragm to push all of the air out of the lungs. And then again, inhaling. Filling into the belly, exhaling, push, 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 push. Nice, last one, long inhale into the belly. Exhale. Okay, next inhale, we're going to take our hands all the way up towards the sky. So lift, 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 finger to the side. Take your gaze high, reach them high. And then exhale to forward fold all the way down. Forward, 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 forward. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, place your hands on the mat and take your feet all the way to the back. So step back. High plank, holding it there. So spread the fingers wide, really round into the top of your upper back. So just activating into your scapula. And see if you can press down with the ends of your fingertips. Squeeze your core, engage your glutes. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. So whichever way you want to come down to the mat. Nice and slow and controlled. Elbows staying narrow in towards the ribcage. Nice. Inhaling up the dog baby cobra. Lift and lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So big push through the arms now. Maybe bend the knees as well. Lift, 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 lift. Push, 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 push. Nice. Maybe have a little wiggle through the heels if that feels good. Maybe have a little shake of the hips. But most importantly, every time you exhale, think about lifting your sit bone up towards the sky and pressing your chest towards your thighs. So don't worry too much about straightening the legs. Worry more about really pressing your chest towards your thighs and taking your forehead down towards your mat. Take one more breath. And then on your next exhale, bend your knees, just look forwards. And then step or jump towards the top of your mat, whichever's easiest. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. And then inhale to come all the way back to standing again. Take your hands overhead, reach them high. Lift, lift, lift. And then bring your hands down through your heart center. Nice. And again, inhale, hands come high. Exhale to fold all the way down. Big breath, and you're all out. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, place your hands, jump, step or float to the back of your mat. Whatever's easiest. Nice. Hold it there, take a breath, engage the glutes, round into the top of the upper back, pressing into the fingertips. Take one more breath, long inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga coming down, elbows staying in, engaging the core. Nice. Inhale up the dog baby cobra, lift, 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 long spine. Exhale, downward facing dog, tuck the toes, bend the knees, big push through the arms and the shoulders, lift, 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 lift. Nice. And again, maybe have a little wiggle through the heels. Maybe nod and shake the head just to release the neck a little. Push down to the ends of the fingertips. Every exhale, keep shooting that sit bone up to the sky, chest towards thighs. Take a breath. And your next exhale, bend your knees. Look forward, jump, step or float to meet your hands. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, big forward fold. Big fold, nice. And then inhale all the way back to standing. Hands come high, reach them high, reach, 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 reach. And bring your hands down through that centre. Real nice. So you've warmed up a little bit, you've got some blood flow, you've got moving a bit. Now it's probably a little bit hot. Let's take the top, I'm honest. Take the top, so this is good. But you want to warm up the body a little bit because obviously if you come from being with static, even if you're hot through temperature because it's hot outside, you want to warm the body up and get it moving, get the blood flow a bit. So this is a really good one for opening into the hips, so all the way down your back. Whichever leg first, so bend the right leg first. And then bring your left leg up and over. Excellent, so flexing the foot. And to start with, think about sucking your belly button in towards your spine. So you're going to tuck your pelvis under, and that gap that's sometimes there, make it disappear. So you're engaging all the way through here. But try and relax the top half of your body. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Take a couple of breaths there. Nice, deep, long. And always think about breathing into here first. So you're filling the belly before the lungs. Nice. Now keeping that engagement through the core, then take your left hand and maybe start to gently press onto the outside edge of that left knee. Excellent. So that's opening up into your hips. But again, really think about releasing through the top half of the body. You don't want to be holding tension through the neck. And every time you exhale, maybe gently push that knee a little harder. Not too much. Keep the hips nice and square. One more breath. Okay, now we're going to thread our left hand between the gap in our legs. Right hand around the outside edge of that right thigh. Interlace your fingers behind you. And again, think about sinking the shoulder blades down onto the mat. Long spine. Back nice and relaxed onto your mat. Tailbone doesn't need to necessarily be tucked anymore because you're lifting into those hips. But more importantly, think about that left knee is drawing back and open into the hip socket. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And again, 2 or 3 breaths here. Maybe every exhale, gently pull a little closer if that feels nice. And maybe even as you inhale, just release a little. So there's a little bit of movement through it as well. So inhaling to let go a bit and exhaling to pull. It doesn't have to be completely static. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, gently release. Take that right foot down onto the floor, uncross the leg. And maybe slide your feet all the way down, give your hips a little shake. Okay, right leg comes up over the left. And again, to start with, think about tucking the pelvis, sucking the belly button in towards the spine, and relaxing the top half of the body. Shoulders are released. Come back to that breath if you've lost it. That's maybe the most important thing to guide you through. You want to hold these moves for sort of maybe 2 or 3 breaths. So really focus on trying to move with your breath if you can. If you forget, just come back to take a long, deep inhale again. And then take your right hand and start to press nice and easy into that right knee. And you'll feel when it gets to a point where it's kind of enough. You don't want to over push it, overstretch it. Nice. Make sure that pelvis is still tucked and loose and engaging that core a little. One more breath. And then threading the right hand between the legs, left hand comes around that thigh, interlace your fingers. You might find that one hip slightly tighter than the other. For me, it really is. Yeah. So don't worry too much. It doesn't matter if one leg comes up further than the other. You want to just focus more on the positioning of the body where it's supposed to be. So think about trying to elongate through the spine, shoulders relax down onto the mat. And you'll feel it through the outside edge of this glute here and in the hip joint. So as long as we're coming back to our breath, 3 nice long breaths. Nice, one more. And then gently releasing that left leg down and crossing the right leg. Then take the legs all the way down onto your mat so you fully flatten your mat. Maybe give the hips a little shake just because it feels good. Because you feel that in the outside edges of the glutes, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so that's obviously good for opening into the hips. You're going to have really tight hips sitting on a plane for the whole time, so that's a really nice one to just sort of release a little bit. Now I'm going to look at twisting. Twisting is really good for massaging your internal organs, and I don't know about you, but I get really kind of bloated and 100%. Stuck up on a plane. It's awful. So this is really nice, real gentle twist, and it should hopefully relieve some of those bowel issues. Okay, so bend your right leg, right foot flat on the floor, and you want your heel about maybe 6 inches from your tailbone, but you should be able to maybe tickle your Achilles tendons with your fingertips, so you can reach your right heel with your right fingertips. But about there. And then elongate the spine onto the mat, relax the top half of the body, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, take that right knee all the way up and over to the other side. Nice. and you've done it there. So think about maybe using that left hand to gently pull the knee. You don't want to over twist. It's nice and easy. So to start with a little twist, and then every time you breathe, every time you exhale, maybe sink a little deeper. Think more importantly about really flattening the shoulder blades down to the mat and keeping the top half of the body flat so you'll feel that twist even deeper. Nice. And then just close down the eyes, 2 or 3 nice long control breaths. And as I said, every exhale, maybe pulling that knee a little closer to the mat. Okay, left leg. Bending that foot, flat on the floor. Take a breath. And as you exhale, take that left knee all the way over. All the way over. Nice. Breathing, girl. So again, more importantly than getting that knee over, think about this. You want to be flattening that down. So the feeling's through here. There. So if necessary, release this a little bit. Come back. There. And then as you breathe through, as you take those 2 or 3 breaths, you'll gradually sink a little deeper because naturally the body will start to unwind. So don't worry too much about getting into that position to start with. Just take your time and make sure the shoulders all go down really nice. And if you want to extend it a little more, maybe start taking your gaze over to this side and you'll feel that slightly deepen the twist all the way through the spine. Really nice. One more breath. Deep inhale into here. Oh, and exhale. Nice. This one you can do with a partner. By yourself you can do it against a wall, or even lying in bed if you sort of like lying in bed and you've got the head, what's it called?
Headboard.
Headboard, that's all. But this is a really nice one. I get really super fat ankles and feet after travelling this session really long pain. Unless you're in first class, in which case you can lie down. I'm not. That's not me. Legs all the way up towards the sky, both legs. And obviously if you had a wall there, I am said wall.
You are my wall.
I am the wall. And the most important thing here, you want to be taking your bum when it's there all the way to the wall so that you can completely relax the full weight of your legs onto the wall. So don't worry too much, you don't want to hold tension through here. You're going to be completely relaxed. Close down the eyes. And then you just want to really think about releasing, and obviously as you start to relax all of this, the tension will just literally start almost feeling running down your legs. Once you've completely released through the legs, think about then relaxing the rest of the body. So think
you don't actually realise that you're holding tension without even thinking.
That's what I'm saying, you've got to it really is a mental battle with yourself because you think, oh, I'm fully relaxed, and you never are. And the way I tend to do it is I'll work literally from the very tops of my toes. So I'll focus all my energy. The first breath is my toes, the second breath is the rest of my feet, the next breath is the bottoms of my legs, and then the tops. And then by the time the legs are completely relaxed, then you can start to think about turning off the whole of the rest of the body. So really releasing into the back, the chest. Think about if you're holding tension in the core, the pelvis, or the hips, or the glutes, just let all of that go completely heavy, completely still. And then especially now through the shoulders and the neck, really focus all your attention on there and just let it go. The arms, the hands, the wrists, the ends of the fingertips, just switch it all off, all of it off. And then lastly the head and the neck. Hold a lot of tension in the head and the neck without realising. In the face, sometimes you're frowning without even realising. Really think about just letting go of all those muscles. Heavy jaw, heavy face, heavy head, heavy neck. And then once you get there, like a 2 or 3, nice. It doesn't necessarily have to be deep because you really have to think about opening into the diaphragm then. So just real gentle breaths, 2 or 3 real easy breaths. Last one. So sitting on that, it's a really nice way to kind of lift that sit bone, and it means the knees can drop out and open more easily. You can rock your weight forward ever so slightly, and you can get that natural lumbar curve in your spine. If you haven't got one of those, don't worry, and you're feeling like there's a lot of tension in your neck and your shoulders, just sit against a flat wall, and it will just relieve that pressure in the hips.
Yeah.
And before we come into staying completely still, you say you get a lot of tension in your neck.
Yeah.
A little bit of neck stretching. Now, it's really variable for everyone with this because people hold tension in their neck in different places. Some people have a really flexible neck. Just be really careful. This is more for everyone watching. Like, just be really careful with your neck and your spine at all points because it's obviously the only one you have. And it's just as you can pull the neck as far as feels comfortable. It shouldn't ever hurt. If it's hurting, you must stop. Okay, so first, take your left hand onto the outer edge of your hip, shoulder nice and relaxed. Then you're going to take your head over to your right shoulder, that's it. And that's so super easy, super small stretch.
Feels so good.
But it feels real nice, and then you need to think obviously about breathing again. And don't worry too much about continuing to take that head down to your right shoulder. It's more about just, as long as you can feel the stretch down the side of the neck. Take a couple of breaths there. If it feels good and you want to take it a little further, you can start to walk the fingertips maybe out a little bit more, a little bit further away from you. And then ever so gently, maybe start to take the chin forward a tiny bit, and you'll feel the stretch move, and then take the head back a little. So it's a sort of gentle rocking movement, slow and steady, backwards and forwards, and you'll feel the stretch move along the neck and the muscle as it sort of moves one way and the other. And maybe see if you can move your breath with that. So maybe inhale the head back, and then exhale the head gently forward. Really nice. One more breath. And then walking the fingertips in first. Fingertips in, take the hand onto the leg, and then take the neck back up through centre. Nice. Okay, opposite hand, comes to the outside edge. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, take that head all the way over to the left hand side. Nice, eyes closed down. Hold that for a couple of breaths. If it feels good, you can start to walk the fingertips further away. If it's okay, stay where you are. And then inhaling to take the head back a tiny little bit. And then exhaling to come forward, chin down towards the chest. And you can really take that as far as feels good. Like if you feel like you've got a lot of range of motion there and you want to take it a bit further, then you can. Just start moving into the side of the neck. Take one more breath. And then keep the head where it is. Start to walk the fingertips in, take the hand up onto the knee, and then nice and easy, take the head back through centre. Really nice, okay. Interlace the fingers in front of you. And push the backs of your hands away and forward. Straighten into the arms, and then drop your chin down to your chest. And start to round into your top of your upper back. So imagine trying to push your shoulder blades as far away from each other as possible. And really push those hands forward, Molls, like this. So really forward, 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 forward. Yes, excellent. Chin down to chest. Arms nice and straight if you can. Yes, push, push, push. Nice. And then every time you inhale, see if you can, it's hard, see if you can visualise opening up the back side of your body here. So your breath's coming into here. So really breathing space into the back side of your body as you inhale. And then as you exhale, maybe push your hands a little further away from you. Push, 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 push. One more breath.
So I obviously just come off the flight and I could that feel
You can feel it already, yeah. So think about it, inhaling and really opening into the back. And then exhaling to push those hands a little way further. Take one more breath. And then gently bringing the hands down onto the lap, coming up through seated. Nice. That should feel good. That should feel really nice. Lastly, hands onto the back of the neck or the back of the head, interlace the fingers. Now you've got to be real careful with this. Just take it as far as feels good, because you're literally going to use the weight of the hands and the arms. Sit up tall on your sit bones, so spine stays neutral, and you're just going to bring the chin forward, down towards the chest. And it's sort of a weight game. You're using the weight of your arms and your hands to pull the head forward. And if you can, you want to release your neck and your head. So you're not holding on to the muscle, you're releasing the neck, and then you're using the hands as a little weight. Can you feel the difference? So if you hold on tension to the neck, the head will want to lift. You want to let go of that tension in the neck. And then maybe pull the head forward a little bit. And just think more about being really aware of what the sensation is. If it feels nice, it's a good thing. If it starts to be a little bit painful, you need to release and come back a little bit. Take one more breath. And then keeping the hands where they are, start to engage the neck and then lift the weight from the hands. So nice and easy, really nice, okay. And then interlace the fingers behind you. One last one, because this feels really good. You want to bring the base of your palms together, so the base of the palms are touching each other. And if you can, keep them like that. So don't open here, you want to keep the base of the palms together. Inhale to straighten the arms and lift the chest. Yes, nice. And then you can take this as far as you want. You can stay exactly where you are if that's enough. Start to lift the chest towards the sky. If you want and it feels nice, maybe start to lift the head. But don't let the neck collapse. So you want to keep a nice long spine. Then maybe if the fingertips start to reach the mat, you can take the fingertips down to the mat and start to really open that chest, lift, lift, lift. And then take a big breath in. And every time you inhale, think about really opening up into that chest. So you'll feel it as you inhale, the chest will open and expand. Lift, lift, lift. And as you exhale, stay there and really stretch that chest open. Take one more breath. And start to engage the core, then come up through seated, hands come off the mat, shoulders come forward, release the hands. Nice. Okay, and finally sitting and breathing. So hands, I like to take my palms to face up towards the sky. I believe it welcomes positive energy, but that's just me, it feels nicer. And you can open into the shoulders more, so roll the shoulder blades down the back. Sitting up tall onto the sit bones, crown of the head is the highest point here. Spine is nice and neutral. Core's engaged still, but I want you to then close down the eyes. Every time you exhale, think about letting go. Start with the fingertips. Fingertips, thumbs, palms, wrist. Let them heavy, let them become still. Bottoms of the arms, elbows, tops of the arms and the shoulders, let them become heavy and still. And then go down to the legs, think about releasing the toes, feet, ankles, bottoms of the legs, the knees, tops of the thighs, and then the hips. This is a tough one sometimes if you're seated. Really think about relaxing the tops of the legs and the hips. And just find real stillness through the physical body, so it's just the breath that's moving in and out. And if the mind starts to wander, maybe just come back to that breath and just visualize your inhale. And visualize your exhale. And you can really stay here for as long as you want, as long as it feels good. If you need to count, then maybe sort of 10 breaths is probably a nice amount to go for. Then one more breath. And keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands to heart center, so all the way together into prayer. And then bring your hands to the space between your eyebrows, so third eye center. And give me a big smile. Now it's it.